Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know, I have to invite everybody in. Why? Because y'all are the coolest. This community is the coolest, and I want everybody to know that and to be a part of that. So listen, if you want to be a part of this community and you're still kind of on the fence, go in the comments, talk to someone. I promise you, you are going to be impressed. And when you get finished, come on out, go down in those settings, look around, find that subscribe button and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit your notification bell too so you know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, that algorithm. But I'm winning, y'all, and it's all because of you. Also, I want to give a big shout out to all of the readers who support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all are doing a awesome job, and thank you so much. And in the corner over here, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, just so honored, just over the moon appreciative to have your support. If you just want to do a one-time donation, look over there in the other corner. That's our super thanks, and all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we don't have any super thanks or shout outs today, so we're going to get right into it. And y'all know when I am putting the read together, y'all know what I do. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, that's exactly where I have been today. I have been all over. I even hit Blue Sky, believe it or not. Yes, I went over there. You know, they always so well behaved over there. So I didn't stay but a little while because y'all know me. Y'all know me. And then I headed over to Instagram, see what the Instagram squatties were doing, peek in on Meghan. Yes, seeing what Meghan is up to. We have something to report on Harry and Meghan a little later on. So yeah, I went over there, but y'all know where I always end up. Didn't go to TikTok. Did not go over there to TikTok. TikTok is kind of making me a little depressed. Not the TikTok squatties, but you know, some other posts. I tell you, it gets a little depressing. You go over there and people are posting about what's going on in the world, that's going on in our country, and I must say, we are on our way straight to hell with gasoline draws on. It seems like our country is spiraling down to the ground. And it gets a little depressing. It really does. All the hate out there. And that makes me admire Meghan even more. Can you imagine having all of these hate channels, all of these hate websites just pointing their ire at you? It could get overwhelming. I can see how it definitely could. So I love that Meghan says that she reads nothing. She does not engage at all. And I understand why. I have to do it in small increments myself because it is nasty out there and it is some nasty people. I'm telling you, they have come from under the rock. You remember they used to say you turn over a rock and all these nasty, hateful, evil, racist, just misogynistic, just the dregs of the earth is under the rock. Now they have come from under the rock and running our country, to be honest, and just holding office, higher office. And it's really depressing. But I'm not going to get on that. I'm not, because we have good news. So we're going to talk about that. And we have some other stuff that's going on. It seems that Willie has just about lost his mind. He has. That meeting between Harry and Charles has really done something to him. And it is crazy to me. And like I said, maybe it's because of I'm from a different culture. That's why I always call on the British readers to help me understand this family. Because to me, it is totally just wackadoodle. The way they look at stuff. How you hate your brother like this. How you think that your father having a relationship with your brother somehow weakens you. It is crazy to me. It is like Games of Thrones in real life in today's modern world. It's crazy to me. So we're going to talk about that, some of the stuff that's come out. And I think some of what has come out is a lot of fears from the Middletons. You know, Richard Eden has this piece, and it's totally off the wall crazy because, like I said, we'll talk about it when we get there, but all of it is just crazy to me. I don't know. Maybe it's the day that I had today because I don't know. I was a little down today because, being on TikTok a lot, I cannot do it. I can't do it a lot. Being on the dark side, y'all remember when I first started this podcast? If you've been with me for a while, you know I used to go over to what I used to say the dark side all the time and just talk about all of the nonsense that these crazy people be up to, especially a lot of the trolls. And I had to stop that because I'm telling you, it was doing something to my spirit. How these people manage to live in that and to sit in that, all that hate, I don't see how they do it. I don't. But since I'm a good person, I don't think I'm supposed to understand it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think good people will ever understand evil because we just can't get our head around it. So the best thing we can do is stay away from it and protect our peace because I'm telling you, that is the most valuable thing that we have is peace. And they be coming for it. All of the derangers, all of the ugly old hags, the trolls, the flying monkeys, the toadies, the minions, the smelly, smelly skanks, they all be coming for your peace. And you need to protect it like it is the most valuable thing that you have. Why? Because it's the most valuable thing that you have. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I done went off on a tangent. I know. Let's get started. And I am going to put up good news. And look what Aaron Dorkowin posted on Instagram. I think it was Instagram or it could have been X. But this post right here saying, as a founding board member of Project Healthy Minds, I am excited to share the news that Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are going to be at Project Healthy Minds Gala on October 9th. Hope you can join us. Yes, and they are getting an award as well. Yes, yes, they haven't been able to scare off organizations that want to recognize Harry and Meghan's good work. We all know that they have tried. Ooh, don't let me get started. Don't let me get started on the Pat Tillman Award because, whoo, I'll be on here all night because that right there still grinds my gears the way they did Harry and how he had to stand up there and just show so much grace and show how hurt he was. Woo! I'm gonna keep going because I'm telling you, I'll get on a tangent. But yes, Project Healthy Mind is having a gala, which I am super, super excited for because our faves are gonna have to dress up. Yes, yes, yes. And they're also getting an award. I cannot wait. So October 9th. And listen, I know you can hear them booking their plane tickets. These flying monkeys, I bet you they are booking plane tickets to be in New York City October 9th. you know that the Daily Fail and all the rest of those rags are going to be on site. Whew, I hope Harry and Meghan do like they did the last time they were in New York City and pay them dust. Oh, it was so good. And I hope they do exactly the same thing this time around as well. And of course, y'all know People Magazine wrote an article about it, and I'm going to put it up. And it says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's next NYC outing announced, and it comes with a big honor exclusive. It says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will visit New York for a set of mental health related engagements. And it says, needs to know, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will accept Project Healthy Minds Humanitarian of the Year award in New York City. Yes, that's the award that they are getting. And they're going to the gala. Ooh, I cannot wait, y'all. Y'all know I love a gala, and I love when Harry and Meghan dress up. I love it. And it says the couple's Archwell Foundation launched initiatives like the Parent Network to protect families and children from online harm. In addition to the gala on October 9th, they'll attend the World Mental Health Day Festival on October 10th, co-producing conversations and showcasing the Lost Screen Memorial. Oh my goodness! It's going to be so good and so meaningful. Harry and Meghan just don't dress up to dress up, and they are not performative. This is work that they have put in. This new initiative of Archwell's, the Parents Network, and it does great work when it comes to social media, online harm for children. And I see they said that they're going to have the Lost Screen Memorial, and that's when they set up all of these pictures of the children have been lost to social media harm, and they put their home screen up on these pictures. Y'all remember they did that? I think they did that last year, and it was really, really powerful. It really was. And so they're going to have that as well. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I love when Harry and Meghan is out doing good, showing up and doing good and looking good while doing good. Yes, yes, yes. And this is what People Magazine had to say about it. It says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will accept Project Healthy Minds Humanitarian of the Year award at the nonprofit World Mental Health Day Gala on Thursday, October the 9th in NYC. People exclusively reveals. You know, People has to pat itself on the back, doesn't it? Every time Harry and Meghan throw them a bone, they have to make sure everybody know that the bone was tossed. I'm telling you. But I digress. It says Prince Harry 40, which he's 41, and Meghan 44 will receive the award for their work to make the online world a safer place for families and young people, in addition to their strides to advance mental well-being globally. And it says the Duke and Duchess of Sussex established the Archwell Foundation in 2020 with a mission to show up and do good, and launched the Parents Network, an initiative to support families impacted by the effect of online harm, at the Project Healthy Mind World Mental Health Day Festival in 2023. Y'all remember? Yes, when Meghan was looking so beautiful. And, it's such a great initiative. And I just love it. I am going to be so excited for this. I love when Harry and Meghan go to New York. Yes, I turn into Oprah. All right, I'm gonna put up this. This is some of the things that the squatties are saying about this news, this good news. This particular squatty said, look at them heading to New York in October. What an honor. They deserve it. They work hard. Great job. Congratulations. Yes, yes, squatties are happy. This squatty said, huge congratulations, Harry and Meghan, a truly deserving pair for the work you both do in regards to mental health and beyond. And I'm going to put this up. This squatty posted what Project Healthy Mind had posted about the lineup of the different people that are going to be at this festival and this gala. And I must say, I recognize some of the faces. Of course, there's Harry and Meghan and Katie Couric and Carson Daly and Deepak Chopra, and I must say, those are the only ones that I really recognize. If you recognize some more, please put it in the comments. Maybe I just don't know them, but I don't. But I love it. I cannot wait. I can't. And the squatty that posted this said Harry and Meghan will also attend Project Healthy Minds' fourth annual World Mental Health Day Festival on Friday, October the 10th. And that is when Harry and Meghan are going to be speakers. Yes. On the 9th, they're going to receive the award. On the 10th, they're going to be speakers. And I can't wait. I'm excited. Are y'all excited? Yeah, tell me. I needed this today. I did. And I'm so happy. I can't. I just can't. And I'm also going to put this up. Look what this particular squatty has posted. And it came out today that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex donated $150,000 to Imperial College London Center for Injury Study to develop prostheses for children injured in conflicts like those in Ukraine and Gaza. And they always trying to say that Harry and Meghan is broke. Harry and Meghan has pretty much put that lie to bed, hadn't they? When Harry bounced over there and donated over $1 million to what was the name of that project? I can't remember what it is, but y'all put it in the comment for those kids that run that radio station. And now they have donated $150 to Imperial College. Yeah, I don't think that's somebody who's broke. I love it. I do. And the squatty that posted this said, Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, donated $150,000 to Imperial College of London. No wonder William renewed his sick vow to hate. No wonder William renewed his sick vow to hate Prince Harry forever. Willie is allergic to giving, to working, to accomplishing anything. Service is indeed universal. Where is the lie? Anywhere in that particular post, because William definitely hates Harry. And it's really starting to come to a fever pitch. Whoo, I'm really feeling kind of, it feels icky. I'll put it that way. Some of the stuff that has spilled out into the public realm from Willie and his camp, especially here lately, and some of it we're going to talk about, it's becoming really, really, I won't even say icky. It is scary that this human being hates his brother to such a deep and vicious level. I'm just saying, y'all. But yes, this particular squatty told the truth. And while Harry and Meghan is out here showing up and doing good, and Harry just wanting to have a relationship with his father to mend those bridges, that has been torn down, William is out here in these streets absolutely cutting the fool. I mean, just throwing a full on toddler tantrum. And he's doing it by way of Big Back Becky and Richard Maureen Eden. Yes, those two. And anybody else he can leak to or plan a story with. I mean, it has been full on ever since Harry met with his father. I mean, it's as if he don't understand that Charles is Harry's father as well. And some of the stories that are coming out is scary. I mean, if this is the state in which William is in, this man needs to be locked up. He needs to be on a 72-hour hold because it is just that crazy to me to have that level of anger and be that sick of mind to feel that way about your brother. But I digress. Look at this. This showed up in the mail, and it is by Big Back Becky English. And it says, some fear malign forces are trying to drive a wedge between the king and his heir. Here's the truth. Now, these so called malign forces, I assume that they're talking about Harry. Now, I did not read the story, it's behind a paywall. I will not give them a click even when it comes from behind the paywall. But this is insanity here. This is totally crazy that they feel just because Harry met with his own father that some malign forces is trying to separate or drive a wedge between the king and his heir. William was not talking to Charles anyway. William was dogging Charles out. That is the reason why Charles chose to align himself with Harry, because William was dogging him out ever since William has gotten his hand on that duchy and he has been financially independent. He has been dogging Charles out. Charles said it himself that he has no deference, that he either forgets or he does it on purpose, but he has no deference. He doesn't understand, or he acts as if he do not understand the hierarchy of the family. How many times have we saw that in print since Harry went over there to see his father? And it is no wedge between Charles and William except the one that William put there himself. Harry certainly did not. Harry certainly did not put a wedge between him and his father. He did. This is typical Willie behavior, meaning that he wants to treat you like crap, but yet and still he don't want you to do anything about it. He did Harry the same way. He treated Harry and Meghan like crap and now wants to play the victim somehow, wants an apology for something. God only knows what when it comes to Harry and Meghan, because he feels somehow he's been wounded because he treated them like crap and they had the nerve to say something about it. And that is the same thing that's going on here with Charles. William has treated Charles like crap, no respect, no deference. And then when Charles decided to align himself with the actual son that does show him deference and does show him respect, he got a problem with that. And now here he is throwing up over all these pages of these rags, having a full on tantrum like a toddler because his father is sick of his shit. I mean, I cannot. So he got his fangirl, his fluffer, Big Back Becky, to write some nonsense like this. And this particular squatty that posted it said this. Well, it's a repost. And the original post that posted it, the squatty said, oh, period, my period God, period. Yes, because he has lost his shit. He has. He has lost it. And I must say, it's a little scary. It's a little scary for Harry and Meghan to me because the level of vitriol that is coming out of William at this time and spilling over into the pages of these rags is very, very concerning. I don't care what nobody say. It concerns me. And I am so glad that Harry and Meghan are 5,000 miles away from this nonsense because it is some stuff that William is absolutely planning that is so weird. I need my British squatties, my British readers to let me know, is this normal? Is this normal? Because to me, it looks totally and completely crazy. And all they're doing is damaging the monarchy. Now, they want to try to put it on Harry that somehow Harry has damaged the monarchy. No, Harry has not. William, William and Charles has damaged the monarchy, even to me, more than Andrew, because his treatment of Diana and putting the horse on the throne beside him, that right there, it is so many people in Great Britain will never accept the horse as queen. And he made her queen. I mean, that right there was damaging. And then the way he went about it, using his children to clear the way, that was damaging. And then the way he treated Harry and Meghan, that was damaging. So, and then let's look at William's laziness, his petulance, and his absolute cruelty when it comes to his brother and his wife. That has been detrimental to the crown. And even though Andrew has done a lot of damage, he is just, down the pecking order. They're at the top. They're more responsible for the damage that has been done. And if this monarchy slips down the drain, it lands completely on the shoulders of Charles and William. I'm just saying. And the squatty that reposted this said, life, karma is simply doing to maligned Prince William what he did to Prince Harry and King Charles, and what he also did to Meghan and Thomas Markle. He's the one who drove a wedge between Harry and Charles and also between Meghan and Thomas. May karma keep effing him up. I love this squatty right here. I love this squatty right here. And all I can say is, I agree. May karma keep effing him up. But as for what she said about him putting a wedge between Harry and Charles, and also putting a wedge between Meghan and Thomas, I don't necessarily agree with that, because that could have never happened if both of them wasn't trash fathers. You know, just because what's going on now does not let Charles off the hook from being a trash father and trash grandfather. And the same for Thomas Sr. He is a trash father. Now, evidently, he was a good father up until the point where he thought he could benefit some way. He sold his daughter out. He did. He was trash. Because if he was a good father, if he really was the genuine father that she thought he was, he would have been just like Doria. Doria had the same opportunity as Thomas Sr., and Doria stood steadfast because she is a good mother. He is not a part of Meghan's life because he was eventually proven to be a trash father. He was pretty good on the weekends or whatever, but he absolutely, when the rubber hit the road, he became the trash father he always was at heart. Because you don't change overnight like that. You don't turn against your kid for some old nonsense that's been planted or some kind of money that has changed hands. Like I said, look at Doria. Doria disproved all of this. Her behavior disproves what this squatty said about Harry and Charles and Meghan and Thomas. When you're a trash father, it's easy to put wedges there. When you're a good father, it's impossible. I'm just saying. All right, I'm going to put this up, and this is from Richard Maureen Eden. Same newspaper, well, same rag as the one that came from Big Back Becky, the Daily Fail. And it says, there's a sinister. Now, this time it's sinister. They're using the word sinister instead of maligned. And this is what this Maureen Eden is saying. There's a sinister establishment plot in quotation marks to undermine Prince William and Kate and bring back Harry and Meghan. I refuse to be a part of it. Now, what y'all think of this? He's pretty much saying that Tina Brown and Tom Thumbhead Sykes is part of a plan to bring back Harry and Meghan and to undermine William and Kate. This is the way these people are thinking. They're thinking that it's some kind of plot going on. And Harry has said it time and time again in interview after interview after interview. The last interview that Harry did when he was over there in Ukraine with the Guardian, he said that he was not coming back. And then he had his spokesperson this week to let them know that he has no intentions of coming back. He did not speak to Charles in any kind of way of coming back as a working royal, part-time, full-time, or anytime. And Archie was not going to be going to Eden. So I don't understand why these people can't get this through their heads, except because of Willie. Willie cannot get it through his head that Harry wants nothing to do with that institution. Because at the end of the day, that's all Willie has. So that is the reason why it's so hurtful to him that Harry doesn't want what he has, because he wants what Harry has. Even Charles came out and said that he had no intention of bringing Harry back. Half in, half out. He was going to adhere to what the Queen had said prior to her death about this, that it was not going to be any half in, half out. But that's still not good enough for Willie and Kitty because they're so insecure. They know how mediocre they are, and they could not stand under the pressure of Harry and Meghan's return because they know that they would absolutely never be spoke of or heard of again, which would not be Harry and Meghan's fault because it would be that media over there, because they're about making money. Harry and Meghan makes money for them. Willie and Kitty do not. And that is not Harry and Meghan's fault. But we all know Willie and Kitty blames Harry and Meghan because somehow Harry and Meghan did not find a hole, didn't dig a hole and crawl in it and pull the dirt in behind them when they left that institution. That's the problem. They never want to level up. They always want people to be less than so they can appear at what they're doing as greater than. They don't want to become greater than. They just want to appear. they're performative. So I cannot with these people. But yes, this is what he said. There's a sinister establishment plot to undermine Prince William and Kate and bring back Harry and Meghan. I refuse to be a part of it. And today I'm exposing what's going on. And like I said, they think it's Tina Brown. They think it's Tom Thumbhead Sykes because Charles is leaking to them. He is telling them about his feelings, and they think it is a plot afoot. These people are so stupid. That's why I say all the time, William is very, very stupid, and he proves me right each and every day. This particular squatty who posted this said, Prince Harry and Meghan are never coming back. They have transcended the monarchy. Where is the lie? Why would Harry and Meghan want to come back to that gilded cage, that trap, to be controlled by Willie? Who would ever want that? And then it says Richard Eden is pretending to have lost his mind. I don't think he's pretending. He's real stupid. He is really crazy. I mean, have you read a lot? I have saw a lot of his columns, and this man is absolutely out of his mind and obsessed with Meghan in particular and Harry as well. He absolutely sees them as his meal ticket, and he does nothing but keep their names in his mouth. So I don't think he's pretending. I think he has lost his mind. And it says, in order to print the most ridiculous, stupid, made up stories for profit. Exactly. And I kind of tend to believe that the Middletons have something to do with this because y'all know, well, we know that Richard Maureen Eden is their go-to person. These are the most insecure human beings. And like I said, a mediocre human being is the most insecure human being because at the end of the day, they know exactly who they are. And if you really want to see them come out and show themselves, let them be in the presence of excellence. Look, when Meghan was over there, they could not stand it because Meghan showed them up. Harry showed them up. So I think, y'all tell me what y'all think, but I would not be surprised if the Militons didn't play a part in here because they're nothing but social climbing grifters. They absolutely use the old honeypot and their grifting skills to get where they're at, and they're insecure about their status. I'm just saying. And it says, he must need cash bad. Does Richard Eden want the Sussexes harmed? That's what I was saying. Because all of this seems very dangerous to me. It seems like they keep ratcheting things up. When Harry has made himself perfectly clear, he has no desire to return, but it seems like it's falling on deaf ears. And William, he is just about to lose his rabbit mind. Because when he saw those crowds showing up for Harry's triumphant return, all the love that the British people showed Harry and not him, that killed him. And this man is dangerous. I keep saying that, and I don't think I'm overhyping it. I feel nervous about it because it's story after story after story each and every day of this man being incandescent with rage, raging, all this nonsense, and all of this really, really psychotic description of him, talking about a sinister plot against him. That's paranoia. That right there is a mental health issue right there. Paranoia. He thinks somebody's plotting against him when Harry has said he's perfectly happy in his life. I mean, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. He's got some delusion going on. He got some paranoia going on. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty commenting on that article from Richard Maureen Eden, she said this: Eden knows the British monarchy is dying, and no amount of PRing Workshire Willie and Doolittle Weighty Kitty as the saviors of the archaic institution can help it. How do you undermine Willie and Kitty when they barely do their performative jobs they get paid for by the taxpayer to do? Exactly. Exactly. And this is what he's doing. He's trying to prop them up. And I'm telling you, like I said, it is crazy to me. It is like the Game of Thrones. He hates his brother so much he don't even want his brother to have a relationship with his father. Talking about his brother just came in and everything is forgiven and all this kind of nonsense. I read in an article, one of these articles talking about he wants Harry to apologize to him and Kitty. For what? And this particular squatty, this post is just chef's kiss. I'm telling you, it ties everything up with a bow. I mean, they reach back and get something from what Whitley said about Diana. Listen to this. This squatty said William Parker Bowles thinks there is an establishment plot against him. Who used to think that? Who used to think that? And William Parker Bowles called her paranoid and crazy. Yes, yes, who used to think that? And he stood on national television and said she was paranoid and crazy. And here he is now saying that it's an establishment plot against him. I guess we can say he paranoid and crazy, can't we? This particular squatty said also, William Parker Bowles, you're actually the establishment. Exactly. You are paranoid and crazy when you think the establishment is against you and you're the establishment. Now that is pretty crazy. Laugh out loud. Oh my God. And it says, what else are we going to hear? Yes, what else? It's popping off, y'all. It is popping off. And I am just so glad that Harry and Meghan is so far away from this nonsense because this man is losing it. And it's getting worse and worse each and every day. More of these crazy articles are coming out every day. They're planting these in those rags over there. I mean, this is insane stuff. But yet and still, here we are. Get the popcorn, get the wine, because it's only going to spiral into insanity. I do not believe William is going to be able to handle any of this because it's gotten crazy really quickly. I'm just saying. And this squatty said the relationship between the king and the heir is so bad that the heir's pieces are doing a lot of damage control for some reason or another, blaming the very visible rift that has been on display for quite a while on imaginary powers. That sounds so crazy. But when you think about it and you look at the person who's saying it, it kind of makes sense, meaning that William never wants to accept responsibility for his behavior because all of this pretty much is his fault. So instead of owning it, it's this plot, it's this imaginary powers are trying to come up against him. I mean, cuckoo for Cocoa Puff stuff. But he rather put stuff like this out into the public instead of accepting responsibility for how he has treated his brother's wife, and even his trash father. Because at the end of the day, he has trashed Charles as well. I'm just saying. Now, I did not read Richard Eden's his article. Of course, I would not go behind a paywall and give him a cent of my money. And nobody posted, an archive link to it. So I went to Kaiser, and Kaiser has written an article about it. And let me tell you, it is very, very interesting. First, I'm going to read what Kaiser's her thoughts are. Then I'm going to read these excerpts that she put in the article, well, she put in her article from this article from Richard Maureen Eden. Then I'll also read what she said in closing. So the title of the article that Kaiser wrote is Eden. The Sussexes are planning to undermine Prince William and Kate. They believe this nonsense. And how is someone going to undermine them from 5,000 miles away? They don't want to accept the fact that they are Dolesville. And people find them so uninteresting. And they wish that Harry was the one, the heir, and not him. And he cannot handle it. This is a job that was given to him, and he can't even do it well. He is such a failure. But yet and still, he doesn't want to accept responsibility for that. He wants to put it on someone else. It's never his fault. But I digress. This is what Kaiser said in her opening to this article. She said the Daily Mail's Richard Eden is on another tear right now. And you can guess why he's especially clinched the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Before we get into this, can I just say that it's really funny that the royalists have not focused whatsoever on how the left behinds performed for the one that shall not be named state visit last week. Like they should have been riding that high all week. There was no major gaffes. Wadey and Hugo got okay headlines. They had all of the attention. So why are the royalists still miserable and still talking about Harry and Meghan? Don't answer that. I already know. Some highlights from Eden's melodramatic. There is a sinister establishment plot to undermine Prince William and Kate and bring back Harry and Meghan. I refuse to be a part of it, and today I am exposing what's going on. SHITU not. That is the actual headline. Exactly. Crazy, crazy. Now, I'm not going to read all the excerpts, but this one right here I found very, very interesting. The title of it is William and Kate has kept their own counsel since Oprah interview. Said William and Catherine have kept their counsel since then, while also having to cope with the drama of the princess' major abdominal surgery followed by her cancer diagnosis and treatment. Over recent months, they have also faced a relentless public relation campaign waged by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex aimed at restoring the California-based couple to the affections of the British public. Tell me that is not completely psychotic. Tell me, said they have waged. This is what this man is saying. Said they have waged a relentless public relation campaign. This is what they have done. And it was a smear campaign against Harry and Meghan. But yet and still, he has to make it all about him. And it says, worryingly, King Charles has been drawn into it, aided by some key figures of the establishment behind the scene. Charles was advised to, if you can't beat them, join them. For almost 8 years, relentlessly, they have hammered Harry and Meghan with everything, and Harry and Meghan has come through it all. So at this point, the blowback is so devastating that the monarchy is circling the drain. So Charles is actually getting some really good advice from these men in gray suits, I guess, to repair his relationship with Harry in order to stop the bleeding. But we all know William is stupid and he could never, ever, ever do anything that made sense. He would allow the monarchy to bleed out. If it was a human being, he would let it bleed out because he would not have sense enough to put a tourniquet on it. This is what Charles is trying to do. He's putting a tourniquet on it. He's trying to stop the bleeding. But William is too stupid. And now he thinks it's an establishment plot. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Then they talk about the royal reconciliation and they go into detail of what happened when Harry went to Clarence's house. I mean, on and on and on, just rehashing the same thing over and over again. And then they have this title called The Sussexes Want a Royal Residence. It says, during his visit, he told friends that he wanted his children to be educated in Britain. Harry has come out and said that was a lie. And then it says, as I reported last week, Harry hoped that by the time his children are of an age to attend school here, he and Meghan will be spending more time in Britain, possibly living in a royal residence if relations with the king continue to improve. Harry and Meghan know there is no half in, but what they want is friendly relationship with the king and to be in a position to move between Britain and the States regularly with no fear of their security, a source tells me. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? Why is he so afraid of that? But we all know it's Harry and Meghan's shine. He is afraid of the shine. Now, that whole thing about Archie and Lily having British, doing education. How did they put it? It says his children to be educated in Britain. Harry said that that was not true. And I don't see what is wrong with them moving freely between Britain and the United States when Britain is Harry's home. I mean, it's stupid what William is saying. It's as if he don't see how stupid it is. And then this next one is called Undermining the Whales. They feel like they're being undermined. It says, the king, however, in danger of forcing the heir to the throne into a very uncomfortable corner. Oh, okay. Is that a threat? Is that a threat? Because we all know when someone is cornered. I'm just saying. And it says, if he allows this plot to succeed, Harry and Meghan will be back in Britain, undermining William and Catherine without even having apologized for their appalling behavior. Can you believe these people literally expect an apology from Harry and Meghan? Talking about Harry and Meghan's appalling behavior. As I think back, wasn't it Harry who said, tell me what I have done? Because I have no problem with apologizing for it. But Harry said he has asked them, what have I done? And they come up with nothing. With nothing. Now, if anybody is doing an apology, it's Harry and Meghan. And the list is long for why they need to apologize. Him and Kitty and what they have done. That's all I'm saying. But have the nerve to feel like they deserve an apology. These people are crazy as run over dogs. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And it goes on to say in his interview with the Left Wing Guardian, left wing, like that's supposed to be a bad thing. This tells you everything you need to know about these people. And it says Harry claimed that he had nothing for which to apologize. Where's the lie? He don't. And it says declaring my conscience is clear. It says the king needs to put his foot down and make clear to his younger son that there will be no more appeasement unless he apologizes to William and Catherine. Can you believe that nonsense? Can you believe that nonsense? These people, I am so glad Meghan left there, because if she hadn't, she would be in an insane asylum by now. Because this kind of gaslighting at this level will put you on a 72-hour mental health hold. Dealing with these people, dealing with this narcissistic bullshit will absolutely make you go crazy. I'm so glad Harry and Meghan are out of there, because talking to apologize for what? You best be glad we ain't up in here moving this furniture with all of this BS you're talking about. And it says only then could a genuine reconciliation be possible. Get out of here. And this is what Kaiser said in conclusion. LMAO. Eden's big melodramatic exclusive is exposing that Harry has repeatedly said on the record that he'd like to visit the UK more often, and that William and Kate are throwing tantrums about it. Girl, you couldn't think of anything else to write about this week? That's all you've got? Weighty and Peg demands an apology before Harry visits again. Man, they really can't hide the fact that William's whole world crashed down when Charles and Harry met 2 weeks ago. Nothing has been the same since. Where is the lie? He is spinning out. And when I say out, I mean out of control. Can you imagine what this man is like behind the scenes? I bet he is unconsolable. It's really, really popping off. It is. It is popping off. I got my popcorn. I'm just saying. And this particular squatty posted this and said, I've said this before and will say it again. If Princess Diana was alive today, William would be briefing the press against her and making her life miserable, because causing conflict and being controlling is William's default setting. What y'all think about that? Y'all think if she was alive today, he would be behaving in this manner? Or would Diana have a more calming, stable influence over him? I don't know. But I guess my thoughts is this. I just think he probably would have been a better person, because he did not have his mother there to run interference between him and the men in the gray suits. You know what I'm saying? He was raised in the system instead of being raised partially by his mother. Someone who could have been there to smooth the sharp edges of his upbringing, you know, to counteract some of the nonsense that those men in gray suits were teaching him. You know, maybe she would have taught him to take responsibility, that he should be held accountable. He would have been a better man. At least that's my hopes. And that's the only time I give him a little slack. But it's only a little, because it's plenty of people who have lost their mother, plenty of people who has gone through adversity and still are good people. So it's no excuse that he is the way he is. But you can kind of see that he maybe could have turned out better if his mother had lived. Just something to think about. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But anyway, I got to bring it back to what's important, and that is we have a gala coming up. We do. And this particular squatty said, since we're talking galas, our faves never miss. Harry and Meghan don't just attend events, they become the event. New York City is ready for another takeover. Where is the lie? Yes, this is what I'm going to focus on. Let him melt down. Let Willie melt down like he's the wicked witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz, and they just poured a bucket of water on him. All I can say, I don't care if it's nothing left of him except his clothes after the meltdown. We are going to focus on this gala because I cannot wait to see what our girl is going to wear. I can't wait to see our handsome prince. I cannot wait for the NYC takeover. So cry harder, Willie. Because at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan are not going to stop. They're going to shine. We all know that you and Kitty want them to dig a hole, crawl in it, and pull the dirt in after them because that's the only way you feel like you and her stand a chance of capturing any headlines. But listen, it can never be that way because at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan is 5,000 miles away. And if y'all can't capture headlines with someone on the other side of the world, the fault doesn't lie with them, it lies with you, boo boo. I'm just saying. All right, I'm gonna put this up, and I just thought it was so cute and a way to remind y'all keep on streaming. It says, "Don't stop, keep streaming with love, Meghan." And look at this, they made a sketch art out of the promotional picture. Isn't it cute? And it says, "With love, Meghan, the best moments are made to be shared." Isn't it cute? It's so cute. I had to share. Also, don't forget to go over to Signal Awards and vote for your girl. Confessions of a Female Founder with Meghan is up for a nomination for an award. So go over there. All you really have to do is put in vote.signalaward.com and then go down there, stroll down there, and where it says business people, entrepreneurs shaping culture, that's what you click on that and it'll take you and it'll have all of the nominees. Now it's quite a few. I think hers is you have to search and then it says you can go to the next page, and I think hers is on the second page if I'm not mistaken. But make sure when you get on the website, Signal Awards, click on business people and entrepreneur shape culture, or right up here you see where it says vote.com signal award.com. Yes, just put that in and it'll take you right there. All right, so don't forget to vote. I voted already. I did, and she is at like 86%, so she's doing really, really well. So go over there and help your girl out. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye.